Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
What's up, guys?
Reminder to follow our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast and subscribe to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel for more WrestleCast episodes. And you can always send us an email, ccg.wrestlecast@gmail.com. Today we are recapping Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Was actually a really good show.
Yeah,
I
it's
thoroughly
a
enjoyed
show,
it.
man.
Yes,
Yeah.
We'll get to what our match results, our WrestleCast ratings, cover some Impact news and other wrestling news as well. So we'll jump right into it. It was a pretty crazy show. After we recorded, they announced one match that we did add a pick on, and then throughout the course of the day, they added a few more.
Yeah. So we only just stuck with the one we knew way beforehand, except for like the eight. Not many, but still, you guys get the point.
In all, there were 8 total matches. We happened to pick 6, but we'll kind of run down the show started. Now,
yeah.
It was interesting to me when they put this show together, and they didn't have. There was a show in Canada, and Petey Williams wasn't on the card. Well,
That was really, yeah.
Thankfully, they put together a 6-man scramble match, which is one fall to finish. Petey Williams was in there against Jake Christ, Aiden Prince, Ace Austin,
Yeah.
cousin Jake from the Deaners?
The Deaners.
Deaners. And Eddie Edwards with Kenny. It's Kenny.
I love crazy. I said it before. This show, and I'll say it again. Just crazy Eddie Edwards is just fun to me, man.
He's fun to watch, but Tina said he's not as cute anymore. So she always thought he was cute like an ROH when he first got there with the Wolves and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know if anyone remembers when he had the Easy E dreads and everything.
Yeah.
Those were hilarious.
Ace Austin did get the win. He could have stole a pin from Petey Williams and or did he pin Petey Williams? I can't. No, he rolled up Petey Williams. Excuse me. Yeah, so he did kind of steal a pin because Petey did hit the Canadian Destroyer, but Ace rolled him up and got the win. So
I feel like they're trying to set him up for something big. Honestly,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. It's working that way.
Yeah, the way they keep booking, I was like they're setting up something big.
Now, before we got into the next match, they did announce Impact Plus, a streaming service they have, and we'll have some more details on that later. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so by the time this comes out, they will have launched the service. It starts on May 1st. So, but we'll have some more details on that a little bit later in the show, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
And now, the next match was an intergender match. This one kind of got set up throughout the day. They had announced that Scarlett Bordeaux is going to have one of her live smoke shows. And that morning, as I was getting ready to kind of post like some results on our Twitter, I saw that Rohit Raju had called her out on why she was getting some time, and he's been busting his ass and didn't have a match on Rebellion. Well, the back and forth set up an intergender match.
Yeah.
So, and Scarlett Bordeaux, we had seen her wrestle in RCW.
Mm-hmm.
We knew her. She didn't, we knew she was a good talent, and
Yeah.
she got the win. Told a good story in the match. She was dominating most of the match. So the whole male over female thing, and it was kind of a joke, but she had her come back. And interesting person that was in her corner. How do you pronounce his name? Falaba is going to be here in town for RCW, challenging Colt Cabana for the RCW championship later on this year, actually in a month or so.
31st of May.
31st of May. There we go. Yeah. So much going on in May. I keep forgetting,
there's a ton going on in May. Oh my God. Yeah.
Now, finally into the match where we made a pick on one of them. Anyway, the Rascals versus the North and Moose. Tommy went right it out with the Rascals and got it wrong. Myself, Tina, and Mike got it right. So
I did, but only because I knew I could tell Ethan Page was in it, but I forgot to look. And actually, Josh Alexander is actually Ethan Page's old tag team partner when they were the Monster Mafia back in the day.
Yeah.
Because Josh Alexander retired for a while, and I was like, I was trying to figure out if that was him or not. But I went with the Rascals, and I think Trey Miguel being in that group is pretty cool because I think he was kind of by himself before he joined them, so I think it's pretty cool.
Honestly, I went with the North mostly because this match was in Canada. It was in Toronto, and I felt like they had an upper hand here with Moose and everything.
That's fair.
Moose did get the pin, but this was a very high energy match, and they really did showcase what the Rascals can do as a six-man tag team, three-man tag team. So, is Impact going to be moving towards adding 6-man tag teams, making that a thing?
Maybe, but also the Rascals are still the tag team champions at PWG, so that could also be showcasing them and get them in the tag title picture with them and the North if Josh Alexander staying around.
Yep.
That could be cool.
That could be. Now, interestingly enough, the Knockouts Championship was next. Wow.
This was really good, though. This was like a seriously good match.
This was good, and this one was fairly early in the show. I felt like, okay, they're putting a lot at stake with the Tessa Blanchard-Gail Kim match. So.
Yeah, they were. And we'll get to that.
So Taya retained. Mike was the only one to pick Taya Valkyrie. He got that correct. But
swore Jordan was going to win.
Thought she was going to win, but I mean, man, she showed she can hang. That's
yeah,
for sure.
it was a hell of a match. That's for sure. I thought they told a great story with her working on the arm, and like Jordan couldn't go for a lot of moves because her arm was all banged up. I thought that was pretty cool. Very, very power and technical based match. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Next was our X Division Championship match, and this one had gotten adjusted that day to OVE rules. Or was that day or was that Friday? OVE rules, which is basically falls count anywhere, anything goes. And man,
I still thought Sammy was gonna win this.
Me too. Well, it's his freaking
exactly.
Rule book,
I thought Sammy had this.
But they brought out the Legos.
And as a fanboy of Legos in general from being a kid.
And nothing worse than thumbtacks than Legos, people.
Yeah, I mean, and as a person who, as a fan of Legos, has stepped on several in his life without shoes on, I can tell you, I think I'd rather have thumbtacks stuck in my foot.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, a true story. As a kid, one time, I randomly was walking. I stepped on a small piece of glass. Now that irritated my foot for like a few minutes before I noticed what it was. I stepped on a Lego before and have cried bloody murder because I thought something tried to.
Feel like something dug into your foot. Yes.
So basically, yes, Legos are worse to step on than glass.
But this, like, they fought all over the damn arena.
Yeah, they used what Switch Swan used the truss to hang off of and kick Sami Callihan, and then he did a springboard cutter on the ramp.
On the ramp, like a lethal injection on the ramp. Because if you didn't see the show, and I highly recommend you go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it.
The ramp, it was one of those steps where the ramp leads right into the ring. There's no like incline; it's just straight into the ring, and it made for some interesting spots.
It's kind of like ECW used to have that same thing back in the day. I think it's some people don't like it, but to me it depends on who uses it and how. And for this case, it worked.
Yeah. But Swan got the win. None of us picked that to happen. Well, thinking this Sami Callihan was going to win. And interestingly, they've got it by submission, which was
that was really different. That was
like
the last thing I expected too. But then again, how he had that submission with
Yep.
This whole blood feud with OV is pretty cool though.
I don't think it's over yet.
No, I don't think so either.
I could see Sami getting another shot soon.
Yeah.
So. They did after this announce some TV tapings June 6th and 7th. If you're in the New York area, they're returning to the Melrose Ballroom, which was a site of Bound for Glory last year.
Yeah.
And then we got a promo where Tully Blanchard came out to wish her daughter luck. And here I am thinking, oh, shit. My pick's going to be wrong, but I'm still riding with Gail. And but then they showed Tully Blanchard was ringside. Robert Irvine was ringside, too, supporting his wife, Gail Kim. So, but this was an awesome match.
This was a really, really, really good match. It might have been my match of the night for the time that it was on.
Yes. You can ask my wife if she was here. Unfortunately, she's not able to join us, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
For me, it was just, and I'll talk more about this later, but getting to see a Gail wrestle again was amazing.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't there in person, it was cool to see that and have one more match. And Mike and Tommy got it right. Tessa Blanchard did get the win. But, man, they fought everywhere.
They did.
Threw Gail off the ramp onto the floor. And then debuted a new submission hold with Gail Kim. And getting Gail to tap out, Tessa did, was one way to get it over.
Yeah, so, that's for sure.
The beautiful moment, though, was afterward. A little bit of a passing of the torch moment for Gail.
Yeah.
I think she had waited to have that moment, and she did. And some tears were flowing, at least on Tessa's side. I think she was very grateful that Gail did that for her. So.
Yeah, to have a mentor and legend like Gail, put you over and everything. That was really cool.
And it was Gail's final goodbye. So, as I mentioned later in the show, I'll have my full goodbye to Gail. So, from a wrestling career standpoint. So.
I'm just gonna like go to sleep or something.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. The World Championship match. Johnny Impact defending against Brian Cage with Lance Storm as the guest referee.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, Brian Cage cannot keep blood in his damn skull.
Oh no, he's like Raven from the years 1997 to about 2008. Like if he's in a match, or I think by his contract he has to bleed at least for like at least a good third.
I don't even think it
match.
was intentional, but
I don't think it ever is for Raven either.
the beauty of guest referee matches is there generally is never a count out because he
like at all. You know,
no. We did get Spanish Fly off the ramp onto the floor, and
was crazy.
you could tell immediately Brian Cage was hurt. It wasn't the same, but finished the match. I mean, it was very much the contrast in styles. They told that story well.
Yeah, they did.
And Cage got the win, became the new Impact World Champion. Finally, but didn't have much time to celebrate because
At all? Jeez,
Michael Elgin came out to face Brian Cage.
And I was telling JC before we started, like the fact that Michael Elgin actually left New Japan shocked me because I didn't think I thought because I honestly think he could have had a job for life there if had he stayed, and the fact that he left and then showed up on Impact just shocked me. I was like, oh, okay, wow, alrighty then. Yep. But yeah, he
attacked, set up powerbomb, his back fist, everything. And basically laid the challenge down, Elgin versus Cage. So. Now, of course, after the show, it showed up on Twitter. Brian Cage was rushed to the hospital just to get checked out. I haven't seen an update on it. I'm pretty sure he's okay.
Yeah, so far he just said it was like a back problem. They haven't said like he's taking time off. They haven't said he's being stripped of the title because the TV tapings happened I think already, and they didn't make any. Day, yeah, they didn't announce like taking the title off him or anything. Which I think with Impact, that's not. I mean, if hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's not that big a deal. But even if it's something that's like this nagging, he has to take a couple weeks off. It's Impact. I mean, they can just kind of stall on TV for a while. Yeah.
Like I said, we mentioned the Spanish Fly bump that he took, and that seems to be the point where he aggravated it. But I guess as the adrenaline dump came down, he just started to hit hurt more.
Yeah. Well, I do remember I was actually in Austin for a AAW show where Phoenix got a muscle contusion, and it just stopped him cold. I mean, he didn't have to. I mean, all he had to do was just take a couple weeks off, and he just couldn't wrestle, but he was fine. But it was just like when that pain when that hits you, you just got to stop. You're probably just saying, okay, that's enough. We're gonna stop now and just calm this down. So hopefully, I'm hoping that's all it is. Just like muscle contusion. I mean, Cage is one of the workhorses of pro wrestling. He if you can book him, he'll be there and he'll go. So I'm just hoping that's one of those things where it's like kind of a scary moment. Yeah, but hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, just maybe get some chiropractic work or go see the doctor Gail Kim did because she had back injuries and she got that ready for her match. So
yeah. And
then we got the announcement for the next Slammiversary. We'll have some more details on that. Tommy's going to be double duty that weekend.
I hope. We'll see, man. It depends on who's doing the meet and greet at New Japan.
Impact Tag Team Championship Full Metal Mayhem.
Yo, fam.
Yes.
Yo.
I'm the only one who got it right. I picked LAX, rode with him. Glad I got it. And the only note I have written down on this match is, holy shit.
That's the only note you really needed.
This is a match you have to see to believe.
Yeah, and they did one of my favorite things in wrestling during hardcore matches like that. They all got chairs and just sat down and started punching each other.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that simple crap so much. It's like
these dudes in hardcore stuff, just sit down and beat the crap out of each other.
Because Pentagon just said, hold it. And they all got chairs. And I think Doc Cal's like, okay, are they going to hit each other's chairs? And so they just all sat down. So they just start chopping and punching each other.
The scariest spot for me was off the ladder through tables. I think it was Phoenix that tried to do like I don't know if he meant to do like a Hurricane Rana or a suplex or something.
Yeah.
And he looked like he spiked his head right into the ramp.
I thought he did.
And I thought he was dead. I was like, oh my God, no way.
I thought he was like just like severely injured or something. But when at the end of the match he got up and was moving, I was like, oh crap, oh thank God.
So he probably had some neck pain, my man. But yeah, Jesus.
He probably had to sit down for a minute. Like he probably got back to his hotel. I was like, I'm gonna lay here for a while. It's like, do you want anything to eat? Do you want anything to eat? Yeah, whatever you bring, just bring it.
Hopefully it wasn't like a concussion or anything. I hope he was able to protect himself. It's hard to see from that angle.
Well, I mean, like I said with Brian Cage, man. They haven't. That would have been announced like the next day. Yeah. So hopefully he's okay. So far I haven't heard anything. Just probably just taking a couple of days off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now as far as pick results go, Tina went 1-5. Myself and Tommy went 2-4, and Mike 4-2.
How was he 4-2 and he wasn't even here?
Dude knows his wrestling. That's all I can say.
Oh, whatever.
Now, on to our WrestleCast ratings from 0 to 5. 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to November. Still laughing over there.
Don't know. Why? Why am I still finding this funny? God.
Mike, admittedly, even though he went 4-2, wasn't able to watch Rebellion, and the reason he gave me, and it's a pretty good reason, I think, is that he was so overloaded this weekend on Endgame and Game of Thrones.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I
know he went to see Endgame twice, so yeah.
I wanted to so bad, but there was like no time for me, no chance for me to. But yeah,
no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. So.
I'm not spoiling for him, but I was the same way. And besides, I my emotions weren't well enough to do it. Be perfectly honest and transparent with you guys, I didn't even manage to get Watch Rebellion until the next day. Anyway, I couldn't watch it until Monday. So because of pretty much the exact same reasons, I was like, I couldn't do it. I can't. I couldn't. So
Tina basically saw half the show. Did enjoy parts of it here and there. For her side, didn't give a rating on it because she hasn't seen the whole thing all the way through. She had quite a busy weekend with some friends, had a blast, and they had a chance to relax. And then she came back just exhausted. I don't blame her. She needed some sleep. So
yeah.
As for our WrestleCast ratings, I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this show throughout. Even the matches that they added were just entertaining. Some even at points felt placeholders. Mm-hmm. Even the Rascals match as well was impressive to me. I hadn't really seen much of them, so I was glad to see that with them as well. So this one definitely got a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Same for me. 4.5 as well. For pretty much the exact same reasons. It leaving a lot of matches that were shorter, like again, the Ty Valkyrie Jordan Grace match was only I checked the time, it was only 9 minutes, but it was 9 minutes of a good match. And that's one thing. It's like I'm a Puroresu New Japan guy, like longer strong style matches, but I could take a 10-minute short match if it's good. There can be people who can pull that off. Jordan Grace and Ty Valkyrie are two examples of that. Of course, then again, it's Jordan Grace, Ty Valkyrie. They're two of the best in the world. So them pulling off a good match is not really all that shocking at all. But it was great. Gail Kim back in the ring was just fantastic to see, even if it's one last ride. Tessa is just continuing to show how good she is. The freaking tag team title match, Full Metal Mayhem. It's just that magic that LAX and Lucha Bros have together. It's like for them to have a bad match, they have to work to have a bad match, and I honestly don't think I've ever seen that from the two of them, from the four of them together. So it's just really cool to see. If this is their final chapter, which I hope not, but if it is, what a swan song to go out on. So
well, that's the question there. Is this it for Lucha Bros and Impact? Are they exclusively? That's the interesting.
That's a lot. That's a lot of questions right now. No one has an answer to.
As you can probably guess, Lucha Bros vs. LAX was our match of the night on our poll that we had on Twitter. 67% picking that as match of the night. So
not the other matches were bad. It's just that good a match.
Overall WrestleCast rating was an easy average to figure out. 4.5.
Yep.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Could have done that at home. So. Now, some other Impact Wrestling news. Slammiversary 17 was announced for July 7th in Dallas, Texas. The day after New Japan Pro Wrestling kicks off the, what is it? The
G1 Climax.
G1 Climax tournament.
Tournament.
Tournament in Dallas, July 6th.
Just when I thought how much money I knew I was going to spend that weekend. That's a lie, I didn't. But I don't have time for this. Impact, what are you doing?
Basically, what we're doing is that they're making sure, you know what? Let's take advantage of this weekend. We got Tommy coming to town for New Japan because I know he's going. We want to get him there for Impact.
Oh, man.
We know you want to see Michael Lug versus Brian Cage because that is the next logical step for that
I do, but it's like, I wasn't ready to hear that. I had my time set aside. Like, all right, cool. Because if people know me, they know I do church on Sundays. So it was like, all right, cool. Saturday, chill out, New Japan.
Worship at the House of Impact.
Don't Lord. The sad part is I have family out there, and like my excuse is I'll just go to church with them in the morning, then just go to Impact later.
There you go. What better excuse do you need? I'll look for your ass on TV.
Man, and so I'm considering it. I'm trying to figure it out now because like they announced that. Like I said, I didn't see the pay-per-view until Monday, so it was on Sunday. I didn't see it until Monday. So Monday is
the message you sent. I was waiting for you to see it.
So Monday when I saw it, I was like, no. I was like, what? It messed up my entire timetable that I had in my head that didn't exist for a show I hadn't even gone to
No,
yet.
now you just gotta take that Monday off. Bro.
Apparently,
Yes,
I
you
just gotta call my boss. So hey, Monday, July the 8th.
Yep.
Not gonna be there.
Other bit of Impact news, Impact Plus. So what is the streaming service? Kind of came out of nowhere. They announced it and then it's launching a few days later. So if you're familiar with the Global Wrestling Network, that is currently the home of pretty much Impact's replay library. You don't have to have a subscription on it to watch some of the, I think they have like Explosion.
Yeah.
Some of their free shows on it. But for $7.99 a month, you're able to watch like old pay-per-views, old replays, things like that, and then as well as content from other wrestling promotions. Now, what's apparently happened is that there was a bit of a lawsuit with Jeff Jarrett and and Anthem over the Global Wrestling Network service. They apparently had some settlement worked out. It kind of fell through. So Impact's like, you know what? We're just going to relaunch this under our own name.
Yeah.
Redo the interface, and still going to have the whole 30-day trial when you sign up. Now, the pricing on Global Wrestling Network, if you do this, their premium subscription was $7.99 a month. That, of course, is for some of the extra shows, the pay-per-view library, other wrestling promotion. I believe they're still going to have some of the free things like Explosion on there as well.
Okay.
But some of the shows that have come out, like Code Red, United We Stand, those will be streaming live on that service as well. I don't know yet if this is going to be a pay-per-view thing. Fingers crossed. I would love it if they put their pay-per-views on there as well, a la WWE Network. But a major selling point for me is like some content from other wrestling promotions, which WWE Network has sent surveys. At least I've gotten surveys asking if we'd be interested in having that sort of content on there as well. There was some recent news about WWE Network is that they may be possibly going to like a tiered system, where if you think it's like $14.99, they may have content from other wrestling promotions as well.
Oh,
so,
okay, I got you.
Yeah, so don't know. We'll see. Impact Plus though is interesting. Definitely check it out. Do some research on it. Try the 1 month free trial. See if you enjoy it. I think it's worth a download just to give it a shot. If they do offer their pay-per-views on there as part of the subscription, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
So
they'll probably shoot more information out.
Especially if they bring back Lockdown.
Please, for the love of God.
Please. That was such a fun pay-per-view.
It was. I loved it.
Speaking of pay-per-views that are no longer around, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Backlash, which sucks to me.
It does.
Backlash was always so good.
I love Backlash. Some of my favorite matches were on Backlash.
Traditionally, it was always the pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
Which is why the name made sense. Sorry.
Yeah. And it was weird to me that they moved Money in the Bank up to May. And it was like, well, that's a slot reserved for Backlash. That was like the post-WrestleMania show.
Yeah, that was the whole point of Backlash, was to have all the post-WrestleMania Fallout stuff.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank was that middle of the road to set up the... never mind.
Yeah, so Backlash had been scheduled for June 16th, Father's Day, I believe, which in San Diego. And I don't know if tickets are already gone on sale, but I know that's the same weekend as Celebrity Fan Fest. Of course, Finn Balor, Becky Lynch, and Daniel Bryan are supposed to be here that Friday. Our understanding is that they're only going to be here Friday for Fan Fest because they had to fly out to San Diego the next day to get ready for Backlash.
Yeah.
So I don't know if their stay is going to get extended with Celebrity Fan Fest. We'll stay tuned for some updates. I'll try and talk with Bob Wills about that to see if he has any information regarding it, if he's able to extend their stay. But they did announce Stomping Grounds for the following week, June 23rd, in Tacoma, Washington. Part of the reason for this is because apparently they're going to have another show in Saudi Arabia on June 7th and didn't want them too close together as far as pay-per-view shows or special events on WWE Network. So,
Stomping Grounds?
Stomping Grounds. Tickets are already on sale. And apparently the main event is Randy Orton versus... I saw it online. I forget. I know Orton's in the main event. Roman Reigns. There we go. That's what they announced anyway with the ticket sales. Obviously, card subject to change.
But Stomping Grounds, are we doing this whole thing with Great Balls of Fire again? Which, by the way, there was a hilarious video of this one YouTuber.
Great Balls of Fire.
There's this one YouTuber. I can't remember his name right now, but of him talking about the name of the pay-per-view and him just bawling out laughing. I actually commented as like I could probably be driving home for a funeral, watch that video, and still crack up laughing because that guy is just laughing so hard. It's like when you think about it, that is the dumbest name. Of course, Stomping Grounds is a hard number 2. I can't lie to you right now. Anyway,
all right. Now I'm gonna go to the news after this because I do have on here on the notes here Brock Lesnar. Why is he in the wrestling news? Well, as some may know, Lesnar is out of WWE for the time being. And had been working on negotiations to fight Daniel Cormier in the UFC. And literally about maybe an hour or two before we started recording, I got an alert on my phone that Brock Lesnar has told Dana White he is retired from MMA. He is done. And Dana White has pretty much confirmed it's all but set that Daniel Cormier is going to be getting his next fight against Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title UFC. I know. So
What?
unfortunately, we may not be done with Brock Lesnar in wrestling yet.
Oh, for crying!
I'm sorry, Tommy.
Just got rid of this.
I'm sorry, Tommy. I hope this is it. He's done for good.
I mean, God, can he
Take a Hall of Fame induction next? Well, you know what? He wouldn't even do a Hall of Fame induction.
He wouldn't go.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to give a
show
speech.
up.
No, he wouldn't give a speech.
He'll make Paul do
Although
it.
that'd be a great heel thing if he doesn't. He shows up for his speech and just Paul talks for him. So, I know. You know, with MMA though, it's one of those things where it's like wrestling. You never say never in wrestling. Maybe you never say never in MMA. Nobody ever thought Lesnar was going to be able to get a fight in the UFC in the middle of a WWE contract, but he did.
True.
He won. Then he failed the drug test, so that got vacated, right? So, I don't know. Maybe Dana will still talk him into it. Who knows? Lesnar is Lesnar. You know, he enjoys fighting.
That should be the explanation for everything Lesnar related. Lesnar is Lesnar. Oh, yeah, so we shouldn't hire him. Exactly.
Exactly. Hopefully, WWE just moves on from that. They have a wealth of young talent. They have, hungry talent out there. That especially a lot of the call-ups with the shakeup. So hopefully they run with that as well. So
yeah, if they focus more on them than on Brock Lesnar, a lot of them would stay in the company. Oh,
yeah.
Snap! Shots fired.
Now, excuse me. I didn't mean to cough in the microphone, but
Yeah, no worries.
Bray Wyatt's new gimmick,
Jeez. Oh,
the Firefly Funhouse.
demented Mr.
I
Rogers.
did not see this coming, but I am enjoying it.
Evil Mr. Rogers.
Now, of course, we recorded early last week and just completely missed this thing when it debuted. Got to go back and see it, and I was like, wow. I love the fact that he actually has a word of the day, which was sociopath this week. And then Matt Hardy's wife posts a video of her daughter. Hey, what's the word of the day, little girl? Sociopath. You're thanking Bray Wyatt for teaching your little daughter sociopath is the word of the day.
Can we just all stop and appreciate that? It's almost like no matter what they give this man, he's determined to make it work.
It's gonna get over.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Bray Wyatt has been given some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just determined to make it work.
Now,
I honestly am now a little sad we didn't see him as Sister Abigail for real, because I think it might have been better than we thought it would have been.
Now, I want to show this video. I'm going to have it here. And nobody saw this coming. And I mean nobody. So WWE posted a video, or actually, excuse me, Matt Men Pro Wrestling Podcast posted this video. I got this.
And I haven't seen this yet.
It's from
for real.
WWE Now, which is on the WWE Network. Seth Rollins and Cesaro were talking in WWE Now, and then they happened to see the Firefly Funhouse gimmick show up, debut on Raw. Their live reaction is awesome. Here we go.
Okay.
Everybody just holy what in all hell is happening right now? I'm sorry. What is happening? Oh, that's weird. That's not what I was expecting at all.
No, me neither.
Weird little vignettes. This makes me happy.
Everybody.
When you shock the boys, you know you're doing something great. It's awesome.
That's just my feeling of how most people had to have been whenever Raven cut a promo ever in ECW. This is totally off topic, but it's kind of the same line. One of Stone Cold's old DVDs, when he was in ECW, he was talking about how they used to film it down like a basement of a hotel, and the footage is like uncut of him with the guys all waiting to cut their own promos, and they're all like standing in line, and like after he cut his on WCW right after he left, it's like Sandman, Raven, I think Tommy Dreamer's in there, all clapping for him, and like Sandman says, "Fucking awesome!" Oh man, it's just good stuff.
Oh man,
Let's see if I
so
can find that poster somewhere.
I'm looking forward to this. We joked about the Viking Raiders, and yes, they kept the name this week. They didn't change the name again.
I was shocked.
Yes, they kept the name, despite the many names we talked about last week.
Yeah, I was expecting Viking 3000.
I said if anyone can get the Viking Raiders over, it's Arrogant Ivar, Rohan.
Yeah.
If anyone can get Firefly Funhouse over, it is Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
This is like being handed a script for a movie that's utter garbage, but in the hands of the right directors and producers can become something very special. It's like
People say the same thing about the New Day.
yeah, that's true.
New Day gimmick.
New Day is the best example. And
Yes.
actually, I will say I was one of these people when Broken Matt Hardy debuted.
Mm-hmm.
I said that's the worst thing in wrestling ever. It'll never work. And then I had to eat a lot of crow because, damn it, if that's not one of my favorite gimmicks in all of pro wrestling history.
That was your Jim Cornette moment.
That was my Jim Cornette moment. I was like, this is stupid. It'll never get over. It's ridiculous. Who thought of this? Like, literally almost a year later, I was like, I love this.
Yep.
It's infectious, and I confess, I do the delete every now and again.
So, on to our 1 minute warning. Did
Yeah.
you have anything this week?
I actually do.
You actually do.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Pull the stopwatch up. So
yeah, I have to do this quick. Hopefully, my phone will.
Well, you
work
can
with me.
take. Well, is your phone?
No,
battery?
it'll be fine. I just like if it'll go jump it back and forth with what I'm doing.
Well, if you need to go longer than a minute, because I know I'm going to. But,
Okay.
all right, ready?
I'll be all right.
Ready, set, go.
Okay, so coming up this weekend, I believe. Yeah, it's May 3rd and May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Wrestling Dontaku, New Japan Pro Wrestling. 2 huge events, 2 nights, and I can't wait because this will definitely set up what's going to happen with G1. For one, the never openweight belt will be on the line. Jeff Cobb versus Tai Chi. Jeff Cobb is champion, of course, and Dragon Lee versus Taiji Ishimori. On the first night, and on the next night, for one, Evil is going against Tomohiro Ishii, and then this match has nothing on the line. It's just these 2 guys just want to fight each other, and I'm cool with that. But the main event of that is Sonata versus Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And also set to debut that night is a mysterious member of, I think, maybe of the Bullet Club, but maybe not, who's going to join the Best of the Super Juniors tournament that starts at the end of that starts in the middle of next month. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to everything New Japan's doing right now. Y'all know I'm a New Japan mark, and it's getting me really excited for G1 Climax. Excuse me.
All right. Supercard Climate. Yeah, Supercard was good too.
Yeah, Supercard was great.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, before we get into mine, I want to play a video that Impact released, and this is Gail talking about the end, pretty much for her.
Actually, you know what? I take it back.
Yeah.
I understand this,
So
but
let me preface.
watch it again.
Let me straighten
Oh
it.
boy. Such a mix of emotions. It was so much anxiety leading up to this moment, and excitement and nerves and emotions, and now it's a little bit of relief and a little bit of sadness, but I'm so glad that this came full circle and came here in Toronto, in my hometown, in front of my family. And honestly, I didn't do it just because I didn't miss the in-ring. I did it for the opponent, and Tessa Blanchard is the future. She is right now, actually. And, this was her moment, and I'm glad that she had her moment with me. When I retired, I didn't feel complete, and I think, a lot of people said you retired as champion, but that didn't exactly sit well with me. And so this feels right. This feels complete. I feel like I'm satisfied, and I'm so satisfied with my career and how it ended in this moment right now.
That was really cool.
The biggest thing is she said there she wasn't satisfied yet. As we know, she announced her retirement. It's been almost a year and a half since her previous last match, and she went out as champion. You guys know I've been the biggest Gail Kim fan for years.
Ever,
yeah. From her debut where she won the women's title. And yeah, WWE was an era. They put her in some weird Matrix looking outfit, but you could tell there was more talent in there, as green as she was, than WWE was letting her use. Of course, that was the era of the bra and panties matches and all the other stuff, the Divas era, the height of the Attitude era. Mm-hmm. And I always was a fan of her then. And then when TNA blossomed and she was there, and even if it was just as a manager for America's Most Wanted, she still had flashes of her talent.
yeah.
But when the Knockouts division took off, and I have said, especially when we talked about Evolution, The women's revolution started with the knockouts division, and that division started with Gail Kim.
I agree.
She was a pioneer of it. They pushed some great storylines. They were main eventing shows. The matches she had to crown the first knockouts champion, the defenses, those matches with Kong were awesome.
Matches with Kong were great,
classics.
like David and Goliath matches were like, just a match of speed and technical strength against just straight raw power. Those remember most about those matches. They were so cool.
Been a fan for years. When I finally got to meet her at Victory Road 08, I was so happy. Hernandez.
Bet money the picture's behind us right now.
It's going to be behind us
Okay,
because I'm
yeah.
putting it up because I was so excited to get a picture with her. I was nervous as hell. And I was so happy. Hernandez, thank you, by the way, had gotten us tickets to that event, told us where they were hanging out. We went and hung out with them, met so many wrestlers that night. And I mentioned this before. Years later, she came to RCW. I got that picture autographed, and I had to go to Hernandez and say thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for getting us those tickets years ago because I never would have gotten that picture with her. I never would have gotten this autograph. So, and I've talked to Gail. I talked to her at the Restaurant Impossible taping that we went to at the Knife and Fork Gastropub. I think we're the only wrestling fans there. We're the only ones that wanted to talk to her because, like, we got there, we sat down to eat, and I looked around. I was like, "Oh my God, Gail's actually here," And I had seen that she traveled with him. She stays out of the cameras, but to get to talk to her wrestling, I think she was a little bit excited. Somebody knew who she was, at least for the wrestling wise. And mentioned that I met her a couple times before. She's away, and I mentioned Victory Road, and then I mentioned that we met her after the lockdown show in San Antonio. And her eyes just lit up like, yes, that was the best crowd, one of the best crowds I've ever wrestled in front of. She still remembers us. She still remembers that show. I says, well, you guys need to fucking come back. I said, I said, we love wrestling down here. That show was awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it was amazing. The ladder match with Taryn Terrell, possibly one of my favorite matches she's ever had. It was awesome. It just, in every sense of the word, I watched that match over and over. It was amazing. And that was the point where people said women couldn't do ladder matches. That proved that they could. Long before WWE even let them have a Money in the Bank ladder match. So she went out as champion, Bound for Glory 2017. And as she said there, maybe she didn't feel fulfilled. This was her retirement. Maybe she was retiring for back injuries. And people kept asking. That question was always there in the back of her mind. Are you coming back? WWE's doing the women's thing. Are you going to show up at the Royal Rumble? I know you're a Hall of Famer in TNA. Are you going to show up at Evolution? They're doing this. They're doing that. And she said, if I'm ever going to come back, if I'm ever going to do one more match, it's going to be on Impact. That's where my career was made. Yeah. That's where she's a Hall of Famer. Let's look at it. 7-time Knockouts champion. 1-time Knockouts tag team champion with Madison Rayne, which she held those titles at the same time. Women's champion 1 time. PWI 50 number 1 in 2012. And, of course, the only TNA Impact Hall of Famer that's female right now so far. But her one match she needed, and she's an old school like that. She said she had to do it for one person. It was for Tessa. To put Tessa Blanchard over in Gail's hometown was awesome. Yeah. That was the match she needed to come back for. That's the one she trained for. That's the one she got healthy for. And she threw out a great first pitch at the Blue Jays game on Friday, by the way. So
I forgot to look up to see how she did.
I have that video too. I'll show you after the show. I don't want to play another video here, but she got it over the plate. And of all things, I know she big baseball fan. I'm sure she's a big Blue Jays fan, having grown up in Toronto. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. debuts that night, and he's been on a freaking tear in Major League Baseball. I digress. But for Gail, as a longtime fan, thank you for wrestling one more time. Thank you for putting Tessa Blanchard over the way you did. This not just in the match itself, but the storyline, the build-up you guys put together over TV for months. Even the previous at Homecoming, you got your guest referee and it set that whole thing up. Yeah. Wow. You still got it.
Yep.
You never lost it. I know you're never going to wrestle another match again. I hope you'll still make appearances at RCW or any other promotion that wants to book you here in San Antonio. I hope you'll keep coming to conventions.
For sure.
Would love to get you an interview on this show. That's like a bucket list item for me. I'd be nervous as all hell, but I'd power through it because that's a dream interview for me.
I'd have to probably tag out with you. It's like, all right, dude, all right, that's it. move.
So thank you for an amazing career. Thank you for all the memories in the ring. I hope you'll still stay on some role as a producer role, still be involved with Impact as a mentor to the women in that division. And there's going to be a lot of young women that are going to come up through that division. when they realize that there's more than one game in town.
I think
you're going to be a great mentor for all of them.
Yeah, I always figured she'd stay on as like a coach or a producer or something like that. I just think she's got too much wrestling knowledge to that they would beg her to stay, if anything. So yeah.
Thank you. I hope you'll still stay involved with wrestling. Thank you so much for all the memories. I greatly appreciate it as a longtime fan, and congrats on an amazing career. Now I guess you can officially say this is it. You are 100% retired. And now I'm not hungering for another match from you because I think I got it there. I was on the edge of my seat. As I said, my wife
because that way to go out was like, dang.
Yes. Putting Tess over that way was awesome. So
yeah,
thank you so very much. And we'll see you down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully sometime soon. So next week, speaking of interviews, I won't be interviewing Gail Kim. Unless she calls and say, "Hey, let's do this." I'm like, all right, sorry. No.
If that happens, yeah, I'm through. I think this show's done all we can at that point.
I'm going to be interviewing Dylan Dunbar, who is a professional wrestler here and a promoter owner of Heavy Metal Wrestling. They do some weekly wrestling shows here in town, put them on Twitch, and they've got a major show coming up where they have MVP booked of all people. So, yeah. The end of this month
versus my boy Terrell Temple. I am so stoked.
So I'm going to be getting to meet with him, talk about his career in wrestling, as young as it might be, and honestly, one of the youngest promoters out there. How he got into promoting himself, what his motivation was. So all those questions. If you have questions for Dylan Dunbar, definitely submit them. Let us know. You can tweet to us at @CCG_WrestleCast. You can comment here on this video with your questions for them. You can email us at ccg.wrestlecast@gmail.com, and we'll get those read as well for Dylan Dunbar.
Mm-hmm.
Some Geekcast news. Saturday, May the 4th, it is Star Wars Day, but it is also Free Comic Book Day, and we are going to be at Dragon's Lair, Alamo Ranch location, doing a live show, and we are going to be talking mostly about Avengers Endgame. You've been off the internet. I haven't seen it yet. Staying spoiler free. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I have the mariachi version here. I could play that. But
no.
So at that point, definitely get your Endgame thoughts ready. Watch it by then. We are going to spoil the hell out of it when we review it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And the funny part is it's really kind of hard not to. It's like I can't even say. I don't even know what I can say that wouldn't be spoilers.
Yeah.
So I'm saying nothing.
Well. Alamo City Movie Talk, they did have Steady on there for the Geekcast. They did a non-spoiler review of Endgame, and I think they just published their spoiler review of it as well. So go check those out as well. And stay tuned. Watch this. We'll be on Facebook Live, Countdown City Geekcast Facebook page, excuse me. And get ready. We're going to have a live show probably around 10-ish. Emphasis on ish. Whenever we get it set up, make sure we got it all ready and running. So technical glitches here and there, like that. So
nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Nature of the beast, yes. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate you having us on the show. This week, I was joined by Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
I'm your host, JC. I'm going to wreck this show because my Avalanche are in the playoffs are playing right now. Let's go. Let's do this to the cup, Abs fans. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.